So let me know if any one of you have ever used Ultrix. किसी ने कभी Ultrix यूज कर रखा है?
No.
नहीं करा है.
ओके, नहीं, नॉट एन इशू. अभी किसी ने डाउनलोड किया अपने सिस्टम में Ultrix को?
No.
नहीं किया.
कहाँ से डाउनलोड हो गया?
एक्चुअली लेट मी टेल यू, इसका 30 डेज का फ्री डाउनलोड वर्जन मिल जाएगा आपको. सुधांशु सर करा देंगे आप सभी लोगों का डाउनलोड. ठीक है. आफ्टर 30 डेज यू नीड अ स्टूडेंट लाइसेंस, नॉट स्टूडेंट लाइसेंस, आपको सिर्फ स्टूडेंट आईडी चाहिए. उस स्टूडेंट आईडी के बेस पे आपकी एक की बन जाएगी. ठीक है. उस की के बेस पे आपको इस टूल का 1 साल का लाइसेंस मिल जाएगा. एक टूल का इंटरफेस है. दिस इज अ वेरी कॉस्टली टूल. इसका एनुअल लाइसेंस फी अप्रोक्सीमेट 3 to 4 लाख रुपीस है.
ओके.
लेकिन आपको अभी 30 दिन का फ्री डाउनलोड वर्जन मिल जाएगा और स्टूडेंट आईडी के बेस पे आप किसी की भी स्टूडेंट आईडी यूज कर सकते हो. अपने कजन्स की, अपने सिबलिंग्स की, अपने नेबर की, अपने किसी फ्रेंड के थ्रू अरेंज कर लो. उसके नाम से आपका वो प्रोफाइल बना देंगे और आपको टूल मिल जाएगा. बट द बेसिक एंड द वेरी गुड थिंग विद दिस टूल इज ओनली दैट कि इस टूल की मार्केट में डिमांड बहुत है इस समय. कोई कुछ पूछ रहा है क्या?
हेलो.
हाँ जी, कुछ पूछ रहे हैं? हाँ जी, बताइए.
Teach in Hindi only or English?
Okay. Sorry.
Actually, I don't know Hindi.
That's okay. Now I will speak only in English. So I'm just saying this tool is in much demand in market. If you will check on Naukri.com or Monster.com or any job portal, and you just paste the Ultrix word, you will find many job opportunities, many job openings. But the drawback is that this tool is much costly. As I have earlier told you, the license is approximate for 3 lakhs rupees per annum. But now so many good companies are using Ultrix. Even Google is using, Microsoft is using, Amazon is using, LinkedIn itself is using Ultrix because it's a very easy tool. And when I will show you some transformations or some calculation on Ultrix, you will realize that it's a very, very easy tool. Main thing is that you do not need any type of coding. And one thing I just want to tell you, this tool is known as the proxy of SQL server. I think, have you guys learned the SQL?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's great.
Yes.
It will be very easy to explain to all of you about basic Ultrix. So it's known as proxy to SQL server, and it's a very, very easy tool. And there are some competitors of Ultrix in market as well. The first and most competitor is SQL. As SQL is a very old tool, apart from SQL, there are some Informatica, DI Studio, but this tool is gaining popularity nowadays in the market, and it may be a leader in market in upcoming years. Because the most thing which I realize about Ultrix, there is a demand and supply shortage. There is a high demand for Ultrix, but you will find very low people who have a decent idea or who have a fair idea of Ultrix. In spite of having this tool is very easy and very, very easy to understand. If you will search on YouTube as well about the Ultrix, you will not find so many videos on YouTube as well. One thing you can find about the problem and solution on Ultrix community itself. So Ultrix is a company of USA who developed this tool. And they have worked very hard over this tool. So let me show you the interface of the tool. The tool looks like this. Okay. First, let me show you some PPTs. Okay. Although these PPTs are not prepared by me. Okay. But I will share all these PPTs with you guys. after doing some corrections or after doing some editing, because I think they are not up to date. There are some things need to be updated on these PPTs. Okay, so before starting Ultrix, I just want to tell you one thing. There is a Ultrix community. Okay, so you can search Google about Ultrix. Okay, this is a computer software company based on USA, California. Okay, and as this tool is in demand in market, so now they have started a free examination itself. So my motive or my totally focus of all these classes will be on this examination as well. I will tell you about all the tools which are being asked in examination, which type of questions being asked in examination, because if you will write in your CV that you are Alteryx examination qualified, okay, so then it will be very great for you to get a job. At least you could get so many interview calls if you are writing on your CV that you have been you have a Alteryx certification. So that will be much easy for you to get so many interview calls, or there might be chance you may got selected as well on the basis of this certification. So that's, you know, subjective matter that's depend upon interview to interview. So is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is the examination. Let me tell you, this is the 2 hours examination. Okay. Examination is free of cost. You have not to pay anything. You may have a one attempt every 7 days. So that's not an issue that if you fail once or 2 times that you are not eligible for exam. Okay, exam will be on the latest version of this Ultrix Designer Studio. Okay, total time will be 2 hours. There will be total 80 questions. I will tell you about the type of questions. Okay, so out of 80 questions, there will be 73 multiple choice questions in which you have A, B, C, D, and 7 will be the practical questions. And so in practical questions, a data set will be given to you. I think all of you are familiar with the sample superstore data set. So some data set will be given to you and will be asked some theoretical question like which category having the highest average profit, like this. So you have to do some calculations on based on some, and the MCQ, the multiple choice questions in which you have some objective answer. So you have to take only based on your theory or some practical judgment. I will show you some examples as well. So you know there is one point for multiple choice question and 3 point these practical questions for theory questions. So that will be approximate 73 into 1. Okay. So 73 marks will be for 1 marks question, and that 7 will be for 3 marks everyone, 21. Okay. There will be total 94 marks in exam, and passing marks are 80% too. So you have to score 80% of this 94. To approximate 75 out of 94 for getting this certificate. Although tools are very easy, but somehow they ask some tricky questions as well. So that's depend on your practice and how much you guys are exploring the Alteryx. It's depend on all this. So today I will not waste your time to download this tool, or I will not teach you anything which is, you know, not up to your level, because you guys are dealing with this tool first time. But I'm again telling you, that's a very, very easy tool. You do not need to worry about this. And then in this multiple choice question, there are some questions which having the multiple response as well. Okay, so multiple response means you are given a problem and there are option A, B, C, D, E. So there is chance or probability that option A, option B, option C, all these three options are correct. Okay.
Harsh,
Yes.
Harsh, I have one question.
Yeah.
Harsh, if you can share these like at least that why Alteryx is growing. What is the advantage of Alteryx over other tool? Because on which type of tool it is? As I know that it is kind of a ETL tool, little bit
Yeah.
advanced capability. Now wanted
Yes.
to know that in this ETL tool with this advanced capability, what is the advantage? Because there are multiple ETL tools are available now. Why Alteryx is growing and getting traction in the market? That is I wanted to know. And now what is the advantage or added advantage of Alteryx over other tools? And last point is like what kind of core features we can do. Maybe definitely we'll cover it, but at least if you can touch base these pointers throughout the session would be helpful.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, and Dave, I am coming on all these points only. Okay. So
Okay,
why
okay.
is getting so much popularity? As I have told you earlier, it's very easy. No coding is required. Okay. And they even you can use macros as well on this tool. So if you are familiar with the macros, once you have done one work, so macro meaning the repetitive work. If you guys ever learn about the Visual Basic for application VB and Excel, so the basic use of VB and Excel is only to get the multiple work done by only one time. Like if you want to do similar type of exercise on 100 of files or 200 of files, so there is an option of creating a macro. If you are creating only one macro, then after doing this work only once, you could do it repeatedly 200 times by just clicking a button. So that's the advantage of macro. So there are many multiple types of macros as well in Alteryx. Okay. And second thing is that as far as I know about Alteryx, I can teach you about all these transformations, all these tools, which are very easy, and you could crack a job based on these tools. But your question is how it is superior to all other ETL tools. Okay, so let me know which ETL tools do you know?
I had bit experience in Power BI. It's
Okay,
like only Power Query part, and I have also
let
bit
me tell you.
experience with Python.
Yes. Okay, that's great if you have experience of Python. So Power Query Editor is a sort of ETL tool. I totally agree. But let me tell you very frankly, the Power BI or Tableau, all these are the visualization tool. Okay. Although you can do some calculations on Power Query Editor, that's why it's known as ETL tool. And somehow, if you are asking the interview, so many person told it's a powerful ETL tool. But let me tell you very frankly, Power Query Editor is not a powerful ETL tool. You cannot do so many calculations on Power Query Editor, but you can do so many calculations on Ultrix. Even there are so many limitations in Excel as well, apart from the size. Size is the major challenge with Excel. Then apart from size, there are so many other limitations of Excel. I will show you here which limitations are overcome in Ultrix. And the other thing, you can connect Alteryx with the multiple sources. Okay. If you talk about the other ETL tool, so let me tell you the name of the two ETL tool. One is Informatica, second is DI Studio. But there are some problems, there are some challenges with these two ETL tools which are not with the Alteryx. So that's the major reason it is getting popularity and getting advantage over all these tools. Even so many companies are now preferring Ultrix over to SQL as well. And as I can understand, the basic utility or basic reason behind this, Ultrix has its own server, just like SQL is own server. And in SQL, you have to write so many codes, and SQL you have to write a syntax. But Ultrix is not to require a syntax or code. You know, there are so many transformations in Ultrix. So all these, which is you are just seeing here, just like I have put an input tool. So these are the transformations in the Ultrix. They have their inbuilt coding, they have their inbuilt macro setting. You do not need to write any code. Just like I am just putting input data, I am just connecting it. Okay. So let me show you how many files or how many data can connect it. There are a Alteryx gallery itself. So you can connect from here, you can connect from Excel, and there are n number click view, click sense, says. There are so many databases from which you could connect to Alteryx. For your learning purpose, we will connect only from Excel. I will cover with the Excel part. But when you are working in corporate or when you are working in any company, so you could connect Alteryx with any of these database. Just like your SQL server, if you are working in a SQL environment or in a Tableau environment, so you may publish your report in Tableau server, or you may connect your Tableau to different type of database. So you can connect here, but it's not a, again I am saying it's not a visual representation type of tool. Just like you are preparing the graph, just like you are preparing the charts. This is a data, you can do data analytics on this tool as well. So is this clear to you, or do you need any more clarification from my side?
No, I'm clear. Thank you, Harsh. Thank you.
No, if you are still not satisfied, then let me know. So basically, I have told you this stuff only about this interface. There is no coding involved. Okay. And the second thing is getting popularity just because this tool is in demand. I have, as I have already told you, there is a demand and supply gap for this tool only, because there are very less people who are pretty much in Alteryx. If you talk about the SQL, you will find so many persons who are practitioner or who are expert in SQL. If you search on YouTube, you will find so many videos for SQL, but there is very hard to find any good video for Alteryx. So that's the reason there is much demand and interview for Alteryx. And so many big companies I know, even I know so many big pharma companies are now using Alteryx. And as far as I know, for cracking interview, Alteryx is somehow easier as compared to other tools, because they may ask you on which transformation on which type of transformation you have worked. Please tell me what is the function of transpose, what is the function of cross tab, what is the function of join, union, how join works, how summarize work. They may ask you all these type of questions. All these are the very basic type of questions. So let me show you something. So I was on this examination. Okay. So I told you that you have to cover approximately 276 marks for getting this certification. And there are some, multiple response question as well for this answer. So there is a, if you are getting a single choice, so you will get a circle. Let me show you. I have this PPT, as I told you that I have not created this PPT. Okay. And even the data or the material which you have in these PPTs, you cannot find on net as well. I will share these PPTs with you guys. Anyway, this. I'm just telling you, if there is a question which is multiple choice question in which only one answer is correct, you will get this type of circle. Okay. And there are some questions which will be the multiple response question. For multiple response question, you will get this. So in multiple response question, there may be chance that 2 answers are correct or 3 answers are correct. Okay, and you may get some partial advantage or partial weightage if you are like 3 answers are correct, and if you are only marking 2 answers, so it might be probability you may get the somehow 75% of this question for marking two objects correctly. Okay, so there is a partial credit which we will get. Now I'm coming to the tool. So this tool divided into 4 parts. The upper part on which you are seeing some transformations. So this is known as tool. Okay. For tool palette, there are so many tools. The tools which you want to just use in your, this is known as canvas area. This is the configuration. This is clear the workflow configuration, and this is the result. Okay. So the tool which you just want to drop in your canvas area, just drag and drop. Okay. If you just want to search any tool, you can search from here. Okay. Cross tab. Okay. There is a, now you can read about the cross tab as well. The cross tab tool move vertical data field onto a horizontal axis and summarize data, cross validation. I just want to select the record ID. So just select the record ID, and there will be Ultrix community where you can read about this tool. So you can just simply drag and drop from here to this canvas area. Okay. Every tool has a different type of configuration. Today we will see some basic tools and the basic results of all these tools. And there is a one favorite palette. So although there are different type of categories, let me show you something on the examination purpose. So these are the tools, these are the transformations which are being asked in examination. Okay, like input output category, there are 4 tools. In preparation, there are 8 tools. In join, there are 4 tools. In parts or general category, I usually mix with parts with the general category. So there are 2 tools. Okay. In transform, there are 4 tools. In documentation, there are 2 tools. So these type of tools basically asked in the examination, or basically you have to only learn all these type of tools for becoming a intermediate to advanced level of practitioner for Alteryx. Okay, and basic thing, if I just want to tell you about Ultrix exam, if there are any category having the 4 tools, so approximate 10 questions will be asked from that category. Like parts having a 2 tools, so approximate 5 questions will be asked in Alteryx examination from this category. Like preparation is a very easy tool and having almost 8 tools, so approximate 20 questions will be asked from preparation category, and it's a very scoring type of category because these 2 categories are very easy. Although all these categories are very, but somehow some tricky questions also asked being in examination, and there is a time limit, and you have to focus your time on some practical questions as well. And then after I told you all these tools, then I will give you this practical data set Excel thing. So there are so many questions are not here. Let me show you questions. So there are so many questions in this data set. By applying or by solving these questions, you guys will be proficient in Alteryx. After solving all these questions by yourself, you will realize, yeah, that's a very easy tool and having so many advantage over 2 other tools. Okay, so let me move to Ultrix. Let's close it. Yeah, so let me show you how you can save your Ultrix file. Just Control S. Okay. By default, it will be the Ultrix workflow, which is being saved in byxmd format. So you have to remember all this interview purpose as well. The file will be saved in by XMD format. Okay. Just like anything Ultrix S class or something, and save it where do you want to save, you will save, and whenever you click on those file it will open. Okay. I'm deleting these tools as of now. Okay, so there is let me. So in favorite, I have already told you there are some tools which are being put by Ultrix itself, which are the most commonly used tool. So suppose I am using the input data. Okay, this is a very useful transformation, and I'm sure Ultrix has done a lot of work over this tool. Just click it here. Okay, just go to file section. If you want to direct select, if you know which type of Excel version do you have, you just click from here. Otherwise, just go here. Okay, and browse the file. I'm just taking the sample superstore original file. So, is there anyone in the class who has not used the sample superstore? Is there anyone in the class who has not used the sample superstore?
I have not used.
Okay, okay, David.
Yeah, this is Venkatesh. I am using in Tableau.
Okay, okay. So I will show you the data set as well. So suppose you are using this. So here it will show you the type of sheets. Suppose my data having the 3 sheets in Excel. Okay, where is the sample superstore? This is the sample superstore original file. So if I file having the 3 sheets, for getting input file in Alteryx, I will get an option. Which sheet I just want to import here. Order pupil return. Suppose I'm selecting in the order. It also has an option. If you want to select a particular range of data, suppose I just want to select the data from A1 to H10, so I can select the data. If I have an option of the import only the list of the sheets name, so it has a multiple options. Here we are selecting only order sheet. Okay, and I'm just doing the order. After applying any transformation tool, we have to just run it. So just press the run. There is a shortcut for run, which is Control R. You have to remember the Control R. Every time it will show a notification after running. If you are clicking here, don't show this message again, then this will not be so. But anyhow, I have not clicked it because I just want to show the calculations part, whether it's finished or not. So I have not applied. But if you guys tick it and do it okay, then this dialog box will not come in your query. Okay, but it will take the same time. Now you can check. Clicking this output anchor, the data which were in the Excel, you can just check it in the result folder. So I'm again telling you, there are the 4 parts of Ultrix. The one which is this one is a tool palette, this one is the canvas area, this one is the configuration area, and this one is the result area. So in result area, you can show the similar type of data. Okay, which was here. Row ID, order ID, order date, ship date. So the similar type of data just in on Ultrix. Okay, if you just want to copy this tool, you can copy it here and paste it. Okay. Now in this, if you want to change the order sheet, now you just want to take a pupil. So you can do from here only. You now send it's showing some recent files. So if you go to the recent, because in recent I have just choose the sample superstore. So there is a recent and simple here. From here, I can change the my seat name or my tab name, and I just want to take pupil. Like I could take pupil. Although I can change it from here on as well. I don't want pupil. I just want the return file. I can take the return as well. Okay. Now coming to the some more part of input tools. So like there are 9,994 records and 21 columns. So let me check on Excel. Yeah, there are 21 columns and 9,994 records. And the first record is the header only. Okay. So coming to the more part, there is a limit, record limit. Like here you are seeing, we are all the columns, they all 21 columns, but the rows are only 3,000 rows. We are not able to see the rows apart from beyond 3,000. So I will tell you later on. Okay. First, let me show you some more functionality over the input tool. So there is an option of record limit. If I am applying 100. Okay. And then again, every time, whenever you are doing anything, you have to run it. Now you are seeing only 100 records. There is an option which I told you in Power BI as well so many times. First row content data. If you are clicking this, then the first row will be considered as data, and this Alteryx will itself make a heading or a header by itself. Okay, now I'm running it again. So is this easy or you are finding any difficulty in this tool? Class?
So here it is just reading that value, right?
Yeah, here it's just, yeah, this is only input tool. You have just downloaded the data, any external server to Ultrix for doing some calculation, for doing some analytics. So I'm just showing you the options of reading the data. Like if you are telling to Ultrix that your first row is data, your first row is header, clicking here. Okay. If you uncheck it and run it, then the first row will be treated as headers. You know, in every data set, first row will be treated as headers. Okay. There is an option as output file name. If you just want to show this output file name in a column, you just make it H, file name only. Okay. Now the name of this file will be shown in the column.
Harsh, I have a question.
Yes.
Harsh, in the slide you highlighted that you know those features in the PPT. You highlighted these features are basic, readable. Yeah, slide number 8. Okay, slide number 8. Yeah, slide 8 and 9. So in input, output, transfer document. Now out of this, can we also classify what actions are basic, intermediate, and advanced? So I can, can you just highlight a little bit so that I can understand, hey, these are the basic activity, these are the advanced activity, and these are the intermediate, means it required in a equal level, but basic are most of the time we use, but advanced are rarely used, so that I can understand what kind of, it will give some background. Okay. What exactly?
So all the tools which are in the favorite palette, these all are the basic tools.
Okay.
And the advanced tool, as I have told you, there are some macros which there are dynamic renaming. Okay. There is some dynamic input, dynamic rename, dynamic replace. Okay, you can create some macros with the help of these tools. So these are the advanced level of tools. And apart from this, like there are some other which are like formula tool, you know, multi-row formula, append fields, transpose, cross step, summarize. So these are the intermediate level of tools. So I will try to teach you beginner to intermediate level. Okay.
One more point, Varsh, you mentioned that this is actually a tool, so no coding, but for macro we need to use VBA, right?
Yeah,
For
but
advanced.
here you do not need to write any VBA tool. Here,
In advanced, that macro one also no need to write any code.
no need to write any code. You have to just apply some steps. Like I have told you, the dynamic rename dynamic function and the macro will itself. You do not need to write. That's the advantage over VBA. That's why now VBA is not in the market and people are using these ETL tools, because VBA use so many codings. That's the advantage over. That's the advantage of this tool over SQL. Like if you want to, I will show you. Although I discussed with Sudhanshu sir today, I will teach you some basic things. But let me tell you some technicality of, like, this is the sample superstore data, and I'm just reviewing this record limit, and I just want to know the categories wise sale of the data. So I'm just applying the summarize here. Okay. And I just want to show the category wise data. So let me show you where is the category.
It's automatically identifying the data type, is it? Or I have to
It's automatically, I will come to that part as well. It's automatically identified the data type. All the tools nowadays, even Power BI, Tableau, all these tools identify the database itself. Are enough smart. But anyhow, if the data type is not correct, because you will do so many calculations on these tools, you will select the data, you will unselect the data, so you can change the data type is it's by yourself. Okay. To be remember always, in Alteryx, numerical data is considered as double. So I will come first. I am just showing you the advantage of Alteryx. Okay, just group by the category and just do the sum of sales. Okay, and just run it. So you will find all three categories and their sum in a table. So that's so easy as compared to other ETL tools, as compared to this.
Sir, we are getting that output at the end, that one category.
Yeah,
This
that's this green anchor.
Some sales.
Of this tool you will find on this anchor. Output of this tool you will find on this anchor. Okay. Now you just want to perform any of the exercise on this data. Okay, like the data cleansing, this one. Okay, until unless you have not, like suppose I just want to remove the leading and trailing space from the sum of sales.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're showing some error. Okay. Until unless you have not the run, you will not find this clean data in this output enter. No data available. You have to just apply the run or control R. I will cover this at last all these tools. Like if you just want to replace, so this is data cleansing tool. I'm just telling you the result of this tool you will find at end at this green anchor. Okay. So I was on this input tools. Let's delete all these tools. Okay. I've told you the required limits. Just if you are applying the 500 limit, you will get output only for 500 number of rows. Okay, there are 500. If you just want to select any seed from here, you can change. Okay. If you just want to show your output full path or full name, if you do a full path, it will show you the full path. Like C folder, then desktop, where is your file, let's say. I have told you the first row contain data. You can check it also. If your first row do not contain data, or then you can uncheck it. Okay. So is this tool clear to you? The input tool, the very basic tool.
Yes, for me it's clear.
Yeah.
Harsh, one question.
Yes. Yes.
Harsh, so like this, imagine I have to massage my data. After some kind of alteration, I did 4-5 function I apply. Okay.
Yes.
So my output is ready the way I need it. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Then once my output is ready, how can we deploy this and run? Just an understanding I want to have. Is it like it's like a package, it get deployed, and in order to run there also I need Alteryx to run it. Can I schedule it? How exactly I can trigger this once the coding is done?
Exactly, I'm not getting your question. What are you asking? But
Acha.
as far as I could able to understand, what are you asking? Every time when you are using a tool, or every time when you are using any transformation, okay, and just when you just want to see the output of that tool, you have to run basically. If you are using 3 or 4 tools, okay, then you can use 3 or 4 tools simultaneously. Then at last you have to run to see the output. If any of these tools are integrated, like the output of one tool, if you want to use in the second tool, and the output of the second tool you want to use in the third tool, then you have to again run.
नहीं शायद मैं एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पाया. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था, मैं फिर से ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. क्वेश्चन ये है कि हाउ कैन आई ट्रिगर इट? मेरा प्रोग्राम बन गया है, आई हैव माय प्रोग्राम रेडी. Okay. What are the way actually I can trigger in a different machine, or is it in the same machine?
Okay. I will tell you this in a advanced class. So you know some server, Ultrix server, Ultrix gallery, where you can your workflow, your transformations. Okay. All this is known as your workflow or transformation. So you need to publish all this on the Ultrix gallery. Suppose you are asking, like, now if you want to share your output with your colleagues, with your manager, with your team members. So there are some Ultrix gallery, there are some other servers on which you can publish your dashboard, or on which you can publish your workflow. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there are options in Alteryx. This is the advantage. That's I told you in the very beginning. Just like SQL server, Alteryx also has its own server. And there is one very popular term which is known as, in which you can publish, you can share your dashboard with your colleagues, with your manager, even with your clients. Okay. You can provide access to your server. So basically we are working on database side. Okay. We are basically database engineer, you can say database scientist, not as such engineer, database scientist. So after serving the report to publish, now how Ultrix server is designed, how Ultrix server is behaving, all these things are not part of our job. Okay, we can publish, or anyway, we should know how to publish all these things on server. What are different type of servers available? Okay, on which Ultrix, you should know all these things. But now how these server are behaving, this. Okay, so clear?
Yes, I have one more question. I can ask. Just give me a second. Some salesperson's passing by. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah, the question I had is that what is the role when I will finish this course? I will join as what role? Is like Ultrix developer. What kind of activity, or what would be my role responsibility in the typical development environment, or development kind of a setup?
Okay, so that's a good question, and again it's a subjective type of question, depending on the type of requirement in the organization. Okay, suppose you are going to give an interview in Amazon and they only need a person who is Alteryx developer. So there might be possibility you will be connect your data to Amazon server and you have to analyze all the data of the Amazon. Okay, you have to analyze all the sales data of Amazon. You do not need to use